quite some time, so it's only fair that we use those.
Ready to go?
Fire away, mate. Yep.
Good morning, everybody. So, for our first slide, decisions made under delegation. I'll just quickly whip through these. Approve some no-stopping restrictions on Roydvale Ave, and also some no-stopping restrictions and stop control at Wairaki Road, Stanley's Road, Harewood. Discretionary response funding at Cotswold Kindergarten, Maryvale Albion, Marist Albion Rugby Club, and Casebrook Intermediate. Our Summer with the Neighbours funding. Some time-restricted parking and no-stopping restrictions. Quite a few traffic-related things last month or so. An easement for some fibre installation at Ryland Reserve, and approved the reserve revocation and sale at Glencullen Drive. So slightly more interesting. Moving on from there, the Belfast Community Network has recently updated the Belfast Emergency Response Plan and have developed a fold-out pamphlet which has been delivered to every home in Belfast. As part of this project, students doing social work at ARA took on the job of developing the fold-out as one of their community projects. Our Community Development Advisor, Natalie Daly, recently met with the ARA students, staff from the Belfast Community Network and Civil Defence staff to look at how the material will be presented and specific content around key community messages. A local sports team delivered the fold-out along with the Pendleton Waimari Harewood Safety Leaflet as a joint council and community project.
All right. So, community liaison meeting. So, the bi-monthly Pendleton Waimari Harewood community liaison meeting was held recently with representatives from local community organisations, elected officials, and local and central government staff. We had some great speakers, including Susan Wallace from Community Law Canterbury, who updated the group on legal requirements for community groups relating to the new charity laws and changes for incorporated societies. The group also heard from Rose Chillies from Terra Nova Foundation, who talked about their Earth Positive program, which aims to enhance organisational resilience and reduce carbon emissions. The foundation offers free workshops and tools for practical sustainability improvements. It was also good to hear from our local MP, Hamish Campbell, who shared some of his background with the group and talked about his priorities, which included housing, crime and education. He also emphasised his commitment to working collaboratively with the community, which is great.
Our community board recently hosted a meeting with the local school principals. 13 schools attended the meeting, which involved discussions around a range of topics, including school road signs and speed limits, safe travel education programs provided by the council, and some swimming pool fencing. Council staff also presented to the group on the Play Spaces Networks plan. We know how busy our school principals are, so it was great to have so many of them attending the meeting. The group discussed how often they would like to meet with the board, and we've agreed to do this every 6 months.
All right, an update for Pendleton Library refurbishment. So as I am sure you're all aware, the Pendleton Library building has closed for 8 weeks while it undergoes refurbishment. The service centre, including NZ Post Plus services, will remain open as normal, but the library car park will be unavailable during the closure period. Our community board meetings will be held at the Papanui boardroom during the closure. We are looking forward to our very popular library being reopened following the upgrades and enhancements. The building hasn't been fully refurbished since it opened in 2001.
If you're free on the 23rd of November, please head on down to the Bishopdale Park for our wonderful annual Celebrate Bishopdale event. Celebrate Bishopdale is a free family event with everyone coming together as a community to celebrate living in the area. The event is held at Bishopdale Park and includes entertaining stage performances from local school groups, artists and organisations. There will be numerous information stalls, have-a-go activities, arts and crafts. There is food for sale on the day, and local groups will be selling their wares for fundraising. And Aaron will make some gags during the opening. Again, this year we will be running the Bishopdale Skate Jam on the same day as at the skate bowl across the park. Thanks very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Kia ora koutou. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you today, and apologies from Simon. He's tied up at work this morning. I'm going to keep it short and sweet and just to give you a quick rundown on what's been happening in our Waipapa Papanui Inner Central Board area this past month. So our October meeting saw us approve a number of parking restrictions, consider my chair's report on the Cranford Street delegations, approve DRF applications from Marist Albion Rugby Club, Richmond Cricket Club and Casebrook Intermediate School, and finalise our board projects for next year. We had a number of presentations from the public at the meeting, including report backs from some young people who we'd given funding to, and from the Shirley Village project about the McFarlane Park SIPTED report. Sorry, I missed that one on my thing. So that's our board paid for a SIPTED report to be done in McFarlane Park, and one of the issues which that brought up was the state of the toilet block there. So our board's making that a priority moving forward to get some work done upgrading that, and the community have some great ideas, including that mural you can see there. The community liaison, we've been continuing to do our community service awards. You can see there the graffiti team received some, and also Jason Harvey from St Albans Residents Association. It was great to recognise the work that he's been doing for them over a number of years. We've got a couple of recipients there from Shirley Community Trust. We presented them at their community cafe. It was great to recognise their work in front of their peers in the community. The Revolution Cafe open, so some of you may have been along already to check that out. That was fantastic to see that happen. It's been a long time in the planning, and our board was really proud to be able to contribute some funding towards that, so do go along and check that out if you haven't already. It's a great addition to the area there. And then Phillipstown Hub, they've been working hard doing some expansion work to their community garden. It's very well used. It's a great asset to the community, and you can see up the top right there, it's quite a big area that they've expanded, and it'll be great to see that put to good use. Contractors have been busy around the Papanui area over the past few months. You may have seen that the new lights at the Greers Langdons intersection are in and operating. And then we've also had upgrades happening to the two railway crossings at Harewood Road and Langdons Road. The Harewood crossing work included the lift of a 39-tonne concrete slab and tracks, which all went according to plan on the day and had trains back running on the tracks again within hours. The Harewood crossing is now complete, with work still ongoing on the Langdons one, and some preliminary work has just begun on the Sawyers Arms one this week, with the main work starting there in the new year. And all three signalised crossings will be commissioned next year once they are all complete. The annual Great Library Seed and Plant Swap happened again this year at the Papanui Library in September and was again very successful. So thank you to our partners, Papanui Mitre 10 Mega, Trees for Canterbury and Weed Busters for their help with that event. And then last month, our board had the opportunity to strengthen our ties with Rehua Marae when we were welcomed onto their grounds for a kai and a tour. It was beneficial for both parties to come together and look at how we can work together to benefit our community moving forward, and we were very appreciative of the hospitality, the sharing of the Marai's origins, and we look forward to continuing to build on that relationship in the future. And that's all from us.
Excellent. Thank you, Emma. Is good report. No one wants any questions.
Great.
Thank you very much. Good on you. Okay, next we have Horswell Hornby Rickerton, Marie and Helen.
Sorry for my slowness.
You're right. You're right.
Thank you. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to present the monthly report of the Waipuna Horswell Hornby Rickerton Community Board. We have 7 slides in our presentation, and Helen will be presenting on the first and last slide while I do the rest of the slides.
Thank you. The reports to the board, we've offered a new lease to the Paparua Small Ball Club. I'm particularly pleased that it's 11-year with rollovers. So if something goes wrong with that club, we'll have the option of coming in and perhaps changing conditions. Second one is granting an easement for fibre installation. Oakhampton Reserve and Rosella Reserve, we've got play space renewal. We had a number of discretionary response funds, but the one we've just highlighted here is the Canterbury Tamil Society. We've funded them for, this is the third year, and we had an area report, as everybody else does. In the Youth Development Fund allocations, we've had a netballer, a young performer award, and we've also had a chess person. And off the ground allocation, Vivian Beer Park was granted an award towards the Horsville Community Garden Open Day. Thank you.
Moving on, the Youth Development Fund recipients Wonchi To and Misha Warboys enjoyed competing at the Taekwondo National Championships 2024 in Palmerston North, which was held from August 31st to September 1st. Both had a memorable experience at the event, with Wonchi To achieving gold medals, inspiring power breaking, specialty in flying techniques, and a silver medal in patterns. Misha Warboys was able to overcome injuries to achieve a silver medal in team special techniques and a bronze medal in team sparring. Wonchi and Misha were grateful to receive the board's support and look forward to competing at future competitions. The board members continued presenting community service awards to recipients in the communities at events or their places of volunteering. In September, the board presented community service awards to Joe Van Limburg and Elaine Fowler of the Rickerton Nail Care Clinic, Emily Austin of the Hornby Netball Club, and Gary Chisholm of the Rickerton Community Patrol. A group service award was also presented to Te Horomako o Te Huruhuru Te Kehonga Reo. Positive feedback has been received about presentations being made at community events. Prior to the board's September 12th meeting, Anna Phillips and Sarah Friston from the Holswell Running Group was presented with a certificate of appreciation. The Holswell Running Group organizes multiple running sessions every week and has started the Holswell Quarry Park runs on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. So please feel free to join, whether you want to run, walk, or volunteer. It is free for everyone. I think Councillor Moore is present in this Saturday morning runs as a volunteer. Right. Now, the Holswell Hornby Rickerton Community Governance Team continues to have a community picnic kit to lend out to the community free of charge. The picnic kit is a way to reduce costs and waste at community gatherings, such as the Summer with Your Neighbors events. The kit consists of plates, cups, and cutlery for 60 people and 4 serving bowls. Now, the Huritini Student Council consists of Year 5 and Year 6 students from 6 schools, namely the Night Stream School, Seven Oaks School, Aidenfield Christian School, Holswell School, Oakland School, and Wigram Primary School. They continue to work hard on their food pantry project. And last month, the Student Council went on a site visit with the Holswell Community Project to learn about their sharing shack and the Holswell Men's Shed, to look around their workshop, and to discuss their food pantry project that the Men's Shed is going to build for them. Rickerton Collective will be Helen.
Thank you. This is the final item. The Rickerton Collective is working to develop a shared vision. This is a range of Rickerton groups. It hasn't been done before, though we've had Rickerton residents groups concerned about planning issues. We haven't pulled together before a group of all associations in Rickerton, and Tyler was the one who really started this. So we're looking on ways to increase volunteer numbers for the Riccarton Community Patrol and planning a series of summer events at local community parks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely brilliant, as
Thank
per
you.
usual. Good
Thank
to
you.
see you. Thank you. Okay, Paul and Jackie, please, from Coastal Burwood Linwood.
Thanks, Marie.
Morena koutou I te kuramatua me ngā kaunihira, ngā mihi nui mō te whakarongo mai kia mātou I tēnei ata. He mea nui te mana whakahaere a rohi e mihi ana mātou mō tēnei mea. Good morning. We are first and foremost looking forward to seeing you at the Woolston Gala from 12 noon on Saturday at Woolston Park. It's the first one of these, which used to be a regular fixture, first one we've had since COVID. And now on to some board highlights. We have recently made a number of site visits to community organisations such as the Citizens Advice Bureau, Woolston Boxing Gym, Youth Alive Trust, Compassion Trust. We're really blessed to have a large number of such groups operating across the east. However, one of the common themes is that sudden and seemingly arbitrary cuts to government funding is costing them and their communities.
Good morning, everyone. Sorry, they caught me off guard. The Climate Change Campus had their annual spring fair on the 12th of October. This is a regular visit for me, and it was twice the size this year as it has been in previous years. Climate Change Campus, if you hadn't had a chance to have a look around there, they do amazing work in the environmental areas with children and education. The Share Kai out in New Brighton, they did 5 events out there, and they saw the best attendance that they've had at any of these events would sell out every night. Always a good night. If you see Share Kai coming up in your area, you must get along there and have a chat with people you don't know and have some unusual food. Unusual for us. Thank you.
This is your monthly reminder that a plan change for the interface between the residential and industrial areas is needed to ensure a buffer zone between suburbs like Woolston, Bromley, Wainoni and Hornby and the surrounding industrial area. I have just been informed that staff have increased resourcing to ensure notification of such a plan in first quarter of 2025, so that is progress. You may not be aware of the Portlink development on a bend of the Upawaho in Woolston. The stunning feat of architecture and urban design is aligned with local ecology, unobtrusive, subtly blending into the topography with leading-edge noise mitigation, which adds to the amenity of the area and to enjoyment of the river by our community. Just thought I'd just like to let you know. Jackie.
Okay, we would also like to add our voice to that of many of your submitters this morning. The Heathcote Cycleway passes through Woolston, a stone's throw from my house. Seriously, I've had a look at this and the closure is ridiculous. I doubt that whoever made this decision at KiwiRail has ever been on a bike. $6 million, total overkill. And seriously, get the cycleway reopened. It's on council land, it's a council facility. Just get it sorted or put that man on a bike. Thanks. Yeah. Women are far more sensible on bikes than men. I know that for a fact. Yeah.
Just bikes, eh? Finally, I just want to acknowledge on a day of global democratic significance, the importance of our local democracy, and to thank all of you for the part that you play in our local democracy. It is imperfect, it's often messy, it's sometimes slow, but at least it is something that we all do together. The people, their representatives, and their public servants. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. And
Yeah, we
Jackie,
came in under time. Oh, look, we've got a question.
We can take questions.
we have time for one question. Yanni?
Yeah, thank you. I was just interested in who's advised you that there's just been additional resource put into that plan change?
John Higgins.
Right. So, I mean, as local councillor, am I able to kind of be made aware of what's happening there?
But aren't you on the board?
We didn't get any information to the board.
I've just been informed just now, Yanni.
Right. So later today, we're considering a spatial planning or a planning program, and there's no specific highlight to the Woolston area. Do you think that as part of, and I don't know if you've seen that report, but in terms of informing our priorities around our work program, do you think there's a need to do a little bit more higher level planning around what's happening in that Woolston industrial area? Just given the number of issues that you've repeatedly raised with the council around things like the industrial and the zoning.
I would hope that the council always has Wilson at the top of its mind when it's making planning decisions.
Sorry, this is about adding a specific work program project to look at the bigger kind of planning issues in that Woolston area.
So, we'll be able to, as you know, there is a quarterly report coming up, so we'll be able to report on that, and John will also be able to update people when we do the annual plan submissions about resourcing for those areas.
Thank you. Thank you, chaps, for coming in. And chairpersons. We now have Banks Peninsula, Lynn and Penelope.
Kia ora e te whānau. I'm honoured to share with you the latest updates from the Banks Peninsula Community Board. Firstly, let's look at the board's decisions that are our responsibilities to tend to. We've received minutes from the 5 reserved committees and extended special conditions to 3 of them. This extension will allow council processes to unfold before resolving the special conditions. Notably, early next year, Pigeon Bay Campground will address illegal permanent campsites through a community consultation process. In received minutes from Head to Head Walkway, they are contemplating possible tracks from Pūrau to Adderley Head. And we also approved the Stanley Park Triennial Plan. And on other decisions under delegation, the board agreed to revoke a prior resolution to raise, renovate and lease U Cottage as we await the outcome of ongoing consultation with the possibility of a more appropriate site.
Well done.
Deputations. In one of the deputations, we heard from Akaroa Salmon, who are leading a scoping exercise to develop wharf infrastructure for growth of existing and future opportunities. We heard from local residents who proposed a trial information desk at the Akaroa Service Centre to support tourism. And in another deputation, a local spoke in support of the U Cottage being relocated to a private property. In open forums, we've heard concern about walker safety on Urumau Reserve tracks and then plans to upgrade Pilgrim's Rock for the 175th anniversary of settlers' arrival. And over the past month, the board has been busy being away. We've been workshopping and reviewing our board plan to help us set priorities for the annual plan, which is easier said than done because there are many important issues. So there's lots of hard work and decisions went into it. While the workshops identified this whole collection of priorities that you see in front of you here on the PowerPoint, today I would like to chat to you about 3 of them in particular. Tourism, flooding, mitigation and sports facilities. So number 1, the Banks Peninsula Destination Map Plan, tourism. The board wants to see progress and involvement in implementing the activities with Banks Peninsula Destination Management Plan in collaboration with Christchurch NZ. In recent update on the current cruise season, it was great, but there is much more to cover off on the whole plan. The board would like council to include this in the letter of intent to Christchurch NZ. We want to help row the waka on this, but need the council's help to get the waka in the water. So that would be fantastic, whatever you can do there. Speaking of water, too much water. flooding is a big concern for our rural communities. Flooding of rural origin is not covered off by council stormwater management plans at all, which focus on urban flooding. So just so that we all can get a picture of it, Banks Peninsula Ward is a whopping 70% of Christchurch City Council land area. To put it simply, if you were to divide Christchurch City Council territory into sections, the Banks Peninsula Ward would take up almost 3/4 of the land. And as we know, Banks Peninsula is mostly rural, meaning it's characterised with open spaces, steep hills and smaller communities. So what does this mean? What does this mean when the floodwater flows over the rural land and gets into our houses, our settlements and businesses? Does this mean that there is no plan for rural origin flooding mitigation to 3/4 of Christchurch City Council territory? Banks Peninsula provides numerous opportunities and advantages for the council, but the flip side of that is that it is required wise and proactive guardianship. We would like to see increased planning and budget allocated to this major issue, working towards and alongside partners like ECAN and local runanga. Number 3, we would like to see increased funding for the Akaroa Sports Courts renewal, as the share of the community funding required is a large burden on the small community, and I know they've been doing a great job so far. So we'd like to see some support for that, and that will be in our annual submission coming up. Thank you for your attention. Is there any questions?
No, perfect.
Oh my God, the timing on that.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much for coming
Great.
up.
Thank you.
Good on you. Well done.
She actually answered my question, Phil, anyway, which is good.
Oh, you know. Okay, so, sorry, last but not least, Spraden Cashmere Heathcote. Callum.
Jess has joined me. Here's an apology today.
Yep.
Right, good to see you all again. So I'll just talk through what we've been up to over the past month. Awesome. So just to a couple of key decisions made in our last meeting. Starting off with some really good news, we've approved the landscape plan for the installation of a new basketball half court at Cornelius O'Connor Reserve in Addington. So you may not know where that is. It's a little wee pocket reserve tucked away in Addington. But it's a really great news story from the perspective of local engagement with council and youth engagement with council. We had a group of young people, young boys who live in the area come to the board to ask for a half court. It was their idea, and the reason they asked for one in that reserve is because basically, even though as the crow flies, it's quite close to some other courts, it's there's main roads. Huge, big main roads, Morehouse Ave, etc., sort of in between, that community and access to any sort of decent basketball facilities. So I think this one is really a huge credit to the Parks Department for the speed and the responsiveness that they've had to this. They just kind of made it happen, and we were amazed that this is something that's been able to. I think they only came to the board initially late last year, so. In local government years, that's minutes. We really appreciate Parks for that, and we're excited to see that progress. We've also did a ground lease to the Heathcote Community Sports Club in Heathcote Domain. Cool. So we've got one Part A coming to council today. I just want to sort of say the main thing is that it's sort of unanimously supported by the board. We fully agree with staff's recommendation, and their reasoning was really sound around the mutual benefit to the facility, to the ratepayers, and to the local community around just dealing unilaterally with the existing lessee Physio South. They've just got really good integration with the council gym there, and good relationships with all the stakeholders. So we think it's just sort of a win-win-win. So that's coming to you later on the agenda today. Happy to answer any questions about it now as well. Another great news story is the libraries team have worked really hard to find a great alternative sort of site for a pop-up temporary library while the South Library's been being worked on to be repaired. So that's going to be happening at the Colombo, and they actually managed to negotiate quite a sizable space there. So it's going to be really, really great for the for the community. The Colombo Mall is kind of it is with South Library gone temporarily. That will be a real gap in the network. So geographically, it's a great spot. Obviously, it works well being a mall. There's lots of other shops and foot traffic there anyway. So that'll be happening in early 2025. So the Sumner Village, is that time up there? Sorry, Sumner Skate Park and Village Green opening events on the 30th this month. You're all invited. It's going to be a great event, long time coming, so we're really excited to see that facility kind of formally opened. It'll be good. Looking forward to that. And lastly, here we go. The Apollo land. So this is the Addington Stadium. So I mentioned last week that we'd come and talk to you about this. We don't really have much yet to come to you with in terms of sort of facts on the ground. Currently, staff are kind of working away and doing their thing. We understand that staff are expected to come to the council end of this year to get a steer from council about the future use of the site. Obviously, with Te Kaha opening up in time, that will change the need and the usage of this site quite a lot. And I think the main message that we want to convey from our board is that the process, that this is going to be really, really significant for our community. Like it's a huge site, and it's got huge cultural importance. I was speaking to Councillor Moore about the importance of this site to the League community in Christchurch, and the history there is substantial. So we just feel that whatever process, we're asking the council to give staff a steer to make sure that whatever processes are done here is one that fully involves the community right from the start. And also the community board would like to have a role there as well, but mainly it's about what is the right use for this land in the future going forward that aligns with the council strategy, community need, and that's all I'll say about that really. So looking forward to finding out more about that when staff come back with the report. And that's me.
Excellent. I'll just say, Callum, I talked to the landlord at Colombo, and she's very happy to have you guys there. She's actually quite fizzing about it, and great. It's going to be good for everyone, as you said. So
we really appreciate their they're accommodating us really well. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Right. Thank you to all our community boards. I'm more than happy to move to receive the monthly reports, and the seconder is Kelly. I'll put that motion. All those in favour? All those against? Thank you. That's carried. So we'll rip into, and then we'll have morning tea after this. Number 11, the deed of lease, the Part